Class, this is an example of how to do number 8 on exercise 2.2 part B. In these equations, in these problems, we're trying to write an equation in terms of the total dollar value, which we're calling V. So in this particular one, we look over here what's given. We see we have P, Q, and N, and then those are set to some other variables. And we'll go over those in a sec. So to start with, we're going to say V equals P plus Q plus N. And each one of these need some sort of coefficient in front of them because these represent the number of pennies, the number of quarters, the number of nickels that we have. So we want to take that number, multiply it by its dollar value. So for a penny, it would be 0.01. For a quarter, it would be 0.25. And for a nickel, it would be 0.05. And now we want to start looking at what they give us. Well, we see that P is equal to P, so we don't need to replace anything with P. Q is equal to Q, so we don't need to replace anything for Q here. But then they tell us N is equal to Q plus 7. So we're going to take this Q plus 7 over here, and we're going to plug it in for our N over here. So I'm going to rewrite this equation. We didn't change anything on P, so we just have 0.01 P plus 0.25 Q plus 0.05. We still leave that, but now we replace with the N with what they had over there, which is Q plus 7. And it's important that we leave those parentheses because this whole equation here is the same thing as N. If we don't put those parentheses, then it means something different. So now I look at this, and now this technically would be considered correct, but we can simplify. The reason why we want to simplify is because I see I have a Q here and a Q here. So I think, well, is there a way I could somehow combine those? Well, because Q is in the parentheses over here, I can't just combine it with this 0.25 Q. You may want to just say, oh, that's, there's a 1 in front of here, so, I know I learned that I can add my Q's. So if you take that and add it to that, that wouldn't be correct. You need to get it out of its parentheses first. So the way that we do that is we distribute this 0.05 into both of these. So we can rewrite our equation. We have V equals 0.01 P, that didn't change, plus 0.25 Q, that didn't change, plus 0.05 Q, because I multiplied that in, plus 0.05 times 7 is 0.35. So now that I broke down those parentheses, I can say, okay, I have 0.05 Q and 0.25 Q. Now I can add those coefficients in front of it. And I can simplify it even one more time. So then I get V equals 0.01 P plus 0.25 plus 0.05 is 0.30 Q plus our 0.35 just remains the same. So that's how you can, an example, how to do this problem. Key features here, make sure that you leave those parentheses up until you distribute that 0.05. Then once you've done that and you come down here, now you can combine your Q's to get your 0.30 Q, or I believe in the answer they just have it as 0.3, which is fine too. So that's it for this problem. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know.